Welcome to the Creepy Parlour, where we delve into the dark side with an undercurrent of light-hearted fun. Our discussions will explore gothic, macabre, or creepy topics. The first Tuesday of every month, we will host a haunted happy hour where you can join us for a group conversation that focuses on ghosts, weird events, urban legends, and more. Here at the Creepy Parlour, our subject matter may be spooky, but our spirits are high. You can catch the Creepy Parlour every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on WLFE DB Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Creepy Parlour. I'm Genevieve, and I am your ghostess for the next hour, and I'm absolutely delighted that you're going to share in this haunted happy hour with us this evening. Before we get started, I'm going to bring in some of my guests and let them introduce themselves. First, we have the Carters.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's going to be...
You guys were original haunted happy hour friends, so you're always welcome. You want to tell everybody a little bit about yourselves?
Well, I'm Joan.
And I'm Rob.
And we have a podcast on the same station as Genevieve. It's Meet the Author. You can find us on our Facebook, Meet the Author. We also are paranormal investigators, and you can find us at Tampa Bay Spirits Facebook page. And yeah. That's it.
And thanks to Rob and Joan, we have our next guests, Rick and Cindy. Welcome.
Hey. Yes, so I must be Cindy.
Welcome. So tell us a little bit about yourselves, please.
We live on the east coast of Florida. We met on Match.com. It was a match made in heaven, or somewhere we can't talk about. No, we kind of realized right away, though, that him being a total spiritualist and me being author, we just figured the two should really go together, and
we started writing spiritual books and some self-help books.
Awesome. Excellent. So our topic for tonight is we're going to start off with past lives, talk a little bit about that, and if we get into it later, we'll get into some premonition stuff. So I was hoping to get like a past moving into the future sort of vibe for the evening, but we'll see where it
goes. It's a good plan.
Yeah, and we're going to have a few other friends popping in and popping out. So I'm very excited about that. Let me go and make sure everybody's got their stuff. Excellent. So what do you guys think of past lives? Do you believe in them?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we have a book coming out probably in late April, possibly early May, called Interview with the Soul.
Oh.
And it's an interview it's a character that goes through 9 past lives.
Oh, wow.
He goes in front of the Council of Elders, gets his lives reviewed, no judgment, just, all about love and everything, and what he did wrong, and what he can do better, and what he's going to try to accomplish in his next life.
That sounds really interesting. And what was that called again?
Interview with the Soul.
Interview with the Soul. I'm going to try to put that on a banner too. Do you think that that's how it works? That we go up against a review board and...
We've been to Brian Weiss's seminars, which he's one of the leading past life regressionists. So we've done a lot of study on it. We've done hypnotist classes. So yes, we do believe that the way we wrote it has a lot to do with it. With the way that we see it going.
It makes a lot of sense. When you think about how, I'm very science oriented, but I also believe in this whole paranormal stuff. It makes sense to me. I can rationalize it a little bit by saying energy can't be created or destroyed. So the part of us that is energy moves on into another part that is matter. So it makes a lot of sense to me. It's just the process It's
Right.
the process that I don't I haven't nailed that part
Well,
down in my rational brain.
It still all boils down to there's many ways to get to where we're all going.
Yeah,
No matter which way you choose, nobody's ever wrong.
that's true. And who's going to prove that we're wrong, right?
So whether it's our reality and it is real, or whether it's somebody else's reality is that you go to an actual physical place called heaven, or it doesn't matter. It's everybody's reality is theirs.
That's true. That's true. What do you guys think, Robin Joan?
Oh, Rick and Cindy know what we think.
But our audience doesn't.
No, I'll let them know. Listen, I believe in the eternal soul, like you just said, about energy continuing on. I don't think, it's ever going to be destroyed. It's always going to be there. I just don't see why I need to put this back on. Thank you. I've enjoyed this.
Well, John, it's funny because in reincarnation, with what we believe and everything, you don't have to put it back on. It's actually your choice
Oh, I know that.
to stay right where you're at and not come back and do it again. Because if you've perfected yourself, you don't need to.
No, but I think I will continue to learn even without a body on.
Without a body on.
It's all about learning more.
Oh, yeah. Rob said that I should tell about this is interesting. I had what now is called a near-death experience, okay? I had it almost 50 years ago. And at that time, nobody actually even talked about it, So I had, hi guys. Whoop.
Oh, there they are.
Hi guys. So
Hi.
I had a vaccination actually, and I went into anaphylactic shock and I flatlined and I had to be resuscitated. When I flatlined, I lifted up out of my body. Now, this is 50 years ago. Nobody was talking about this stuff, right? And I could see the doctors working on me in the emergency room. And I could hear everything that they were saying. I was able to repeat it back to them. And then my body went out into the like the waiting room area. And my grandmother and my aunt were there with my two children who had been with me when I went into anaphylactic shock. And they were watching the kids. And I remember my grandmother saying, "Oh my God, if she dies, what's going to happen to the babies?" And I was raised a Catholic. And so as soon as I lifted up out of my body, I started saying an act of contrition, which is what you say in confession if you're a Catholic. And as soon as I started to say that, I knew I didn't have to say that or worry about it at all. I felt complete peace. I was no longer in pain, which, believe me, at that point, my body was in a lot of pain. And I just didn't worry about anything. I wasn't even worried about what would happen to my poor little babies when my grandmother said that. I knew they would be fine. And so then after doing a little tour of the hospital, I went down the proverbial tunnel. And on either side were what I would identify as angels. And they were about 30 feet tall. And they lined either side of this tunnel that I was going down. And I started out like slow, and then I started going faster and faster. And then I got to this really bright white light, brighter light than I'd ever seen before. And I felt just real peace and joy and real contentment. And the light told me that I had more work to do and that I had to go back into my body. And I went back into my body, and it was not pleasant.
So you were not done learning. You did not graduate.
Well, I had 4 more children after that too. So
You felt all the pain, right?
I felt all the pain immediately upon going back. And they had pumped me full of morphine, but they said, I told the doctors, I said, I saw myself. I saw what you were doing. I saw my grandmother. I mean, there would be no way to know that my grandmother and my aunt were out there in the waiting room. I mean, I had, you know, I was out of it by the time they got there. And they told me that it was probably the morphine or
I
oxygen.
just want to explain it away.
Deprivation. Yeah. So I do totally believe in an afterlife, and I believe that it's going to be wonderful, and I'm not afraid of dying because of that. I just wish everyone could have that assurance and that peace. I don't want you all to die to have that assurance or that peace. I wish that you could just believe me and know that you're going to be okay. And I agree with Rick and Cindy. I think no matter what path you take, that's your path, and that's the right path for you, you know?
Yep.
Right.
Just real quick, we're just joined by T. Roy and Kevin, and I just want to welcome you guys. If you want to just tell everybody who you are.
I'm T. Roy, host of Everything Yet Nothing.
And I'm his old man. I do the behind the scenes stuff and co-hosting for a while, but yeah, you can catch us on WLFEDB and Everything Nothing on Facebook and YouTube. Just look up WLFE-DB.com and you can catch us there.
We got your Facebook page running down there. What do you guys think of past lives? You think that they're real? Do you think that are you skeptical? Are you all into it?
I'm a total believer. I feel like I had an experience when I was a teenager. I put on a gas mask. I won't say why, but I put on a gas mask and I only had it on for a couple of minutes. But in that couple of minutes, I was transported at like a concentration camp and I was shot. Right where the bullet entered me is where I have a birthmark now. So in my head, that was my past life experience. So I've thought about like trying to figure out what that's.
Now, who's
Total
that?
believer. I'm not a skeptic at all.
That's so cool, Kevin.
One of the things that prompted me, I mentioned it a little bit before we started. One of the things that prompted me to want to talk about past lives is I was watching that show, The Ghost Inside My Child, and it was all of these documentaries about little kids who had excruciating detail about the lives that they had lived before. One of them was a little girl who was terrified of flying. And she truly believed that she died in the Empire State Building in a plane crash.
Wow.
So the mom went back and did all this research and found that there was it wasn't talked about, but there was a plane that crashed into the Empire State Building in the 50s, maybe the 40s.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, and it was absolutely fascinating to me that these kids had these vivid memories of these lives and that they could give these details.
Kevin, can I ask you a question? Kevin?
I think they're frozen.
They're frozen.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can ask them a question.
Your birthmark, where your birthmark is, where on your body?
It's right here.
Right in your chest. Now, do you have pain? Do you have pain
right
there?
in my chest.
Do you have pain there from time to time?
No, but like it itches sometimes right there on my birthmark.
Because one of the things we learned from Brian Weiss was that a lot of people that have backaches or an ache somewhere in the body, and they go to doctors and have MRIs, nobody can find anything wrong. When they go through a past life regression, they find out that they were stabbed or they were shot or something happened physically to that part of their body.
many lives ago.
many lives ago. And it's something that manifests
Chronic.
as something in this lifetime, because sometimes it's just because it's something mental that you've got to break through to release that pain you're going through. And it has to do with a past life.
That's
No,
interesting. And that
That
was
makes
one of the things
perfect
that they
sense.
kept. It was one of the things they were talking about on this show too, that in order for a lot of these kids to get past their fears, they had to confront their past lives.
Yes.
I had to do that.
Yeah, Cindy has seen several of her past lives.
Really?
Yes.
I've always had somewhat of a fear of water. I love to be around it, but I don't want to be on it. And everybody tells me, you're just being a pussy and all this stuff. But turns out in a couple of the regressions I've done, I died in the ocean in 2 lives.
Oh, wow.
At least 2 lives, actually. Yeah, so that's something that's carried forward in my subconscious or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that about the
See,
wolves.
that totally makes sense to me too. I say that I have 2 irrational fears. That's being stuck in the middle of the desert and stuck in the middle of the ocean. So that's probably something that happens to you.
You were on the merchant ship with me.
The one that you threw me overboard?
That one.
Yeah.
My friend Bill says that he knows the name of the destroyer that he died on in World War II.
Wow, that's so
Awesome.
cool.
Oh, that is awesome.
Now, Jillian was talking about Shanti Devi in India.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that story.
That was really interesting. Do you want to tell that story?
Well, she told it. This
A little bit, yes, she did.
Who was 4 years old, remembered her husband from a past life, and he was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And she had died and had come back as this 4-year-old, and she knew everything, her name and where she lived and his name, and that's great.
Oh, there's a good question.
Amazing
Yeah.
how it works.
Where's a good question? Let me grab another
Yeah,
question.
it's a really good
Diane
question.
Hoover.
This is the one I see from Diane Hoover.
There's another one.
There's
further
another
down.
That's so cool.
She says, Cindy, has the regression helped with your
Yes.
fear?
Get that one up.
There we go.
Well, no, the regression didn't help, but Rick and I do a lot of meditations personally and a lot of hypnosis. And I'm not totally over this fear yet. So I think there's more past life stuff that I haven't come to face yet.
I think that's a common thing. Like, I have this really irrational fear of tornadoes. I've never lived in a place that has tornadoes. It's like one of those things when there's like maybe a tornado warning that comes through in New Jersey, which is not very often, I panic. And I wonder if that's something that happened in a past life as well.
Do you meditate?
Right.
Yes.
All right. When you go into meditation, ask that as a question before you go into meditation. Have I ever lived anywhere where they have tornadoes?
That's a good idea. I'm gonna
And-
try that.
Higher
That
self will often answer.
You never know what's going to come through when you specifically, meditate on something like that. Because basically it's a self-hypnosis. That's all meditation is.
Yeah, it's really interesting. What are your thoughts on, do you think that people come back as only human, or do you think that there's other incarnations that we could have?
Well, a really good book, if you really want information on reincarnation, I would suggest Many Lies, Many Masters by Brian Weiss.
Okay.
Because he wrote several books, but he's done so many case studies, and never once has he come across an animal.
Really?
Now, he doesn't say that it's not possible, but that's not.
Apparently,
We vibrate at certain levels, all of us.
Yeah.
We're matter, we're frequency. We have a
Yeah.
vibration. We vibrate a lot higher than an animal. So the chance of us even wanting to vibrate back as an animal would be kind of almost nil.
I'd kind of like to be one of my cats. They have a really good life.
You said, Rick, if you did anyway, it would be your choice, right?
That's true.
Yeah, everything is your choice.
Something you wanted to learn or experience, or that was going to help your progression, right?
Right.
Isn't that the whole?
The whole point, yes. Now, like you mentioned that you wouldn't want to come back in this body. Why would I want to do it again?
Yeah.
You
know what I think.
through meditations and through different people that have hypnotized me, I don't come back anymore for particular lessons. I come back because I enjoy helping people. And I have it from somebody that was on one of my early reincarnations that came with me for the first time, that we were together on one of our first incarnations. And he said, I have not changed in all my incarnations. That I'm the same peaceful. I don't get excited. So
You can't hear you, Cindy.
I come back for particular lessons. I've done that. But I like coming back.
Well, it's good, right? Here's my sister has a terrible paralyzing fear of flying, and she thinks maybe she died on a plane. Interesting
or
thing.
off a cliff or something like that.
Yeah.
She should do hypnosis regression and check. Maybe she can get over it.
Maybe, because we have a lot of cool places we want to go see, and I think that might be a good thing for her to look into.
To me, one of the easiest ways to get over
Too.
is just to understand, if you can come back, you have nothing to fear. There's no reason to fear death.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think to me, there's really no reason to fear death anyway, because that's where we're all going.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I do not fear death. I don't. I'm not anxious to die either. It's like
there's a difference between running out in front of a car.
Yeah.
Say, I don't fear death, and just not having a fear.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
You want to live your life to the fullest and do everything that you're supposed to do here for the time allotted you here, right? And that's what I want to do. And I know I have jobs to do. I actually know what jobs I still have to do. The reason we do paranormal investigating is because I love to help the living and the dead. So when you do paranormal investigations, you can do that. Hopefully you can do that.
Yeah.
Yep. We have another friend to add. Here we go.
Time allotted you here. And Dominic, I know I have jobs to do. I actually know what jobs I still have to do. The reason we do paranormal investigating is
somebody watching the show?
It must be.
Living dead. Dominic, are you watching the show?
I'm muting
You can
him.
do that. You can.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah. What is he doing? Did he just come on here to throw me off? What is he doing? This is what he gets.
Hi, Brother Dom.
Expect the unexpected.
Exactly. Turn off the show.
It must be.
He hasn't heard that part yet. Just give him a minute.
I just muted him again because it's
Wait till it catches up to turn off the show, Dominic.
Is that better? At least it shows I'm watching.
yeah, turn them off.
It's good now. Are we good? Are we good?
I think so. I think so. Here's a really good question from real quick, Dom, just tell everybody who you are and do a little introduction real quick. Oh, geez.
Nobody.
Do it quickly. We got 3 minutes.
Real talk with Dom. That's all I am. And in dark shades, I wanted to represent the white shades with T-Roy, so I wear glasses with you tonight, brother.
Aw, you guys are in solidarity. That's so cute.
That's where we're at. That's all we're at. That's all
Dom was one of our. Dominic is
You are
one of our
now.
founding Haunted Happy Hour members. So this is a really interesting question from Natalie. What do you guys think? Do you think this could play into addictive personalities too, if one died due to substance abuse, or was that simply a lesson?
I think the addictive personalities can sometimes be the fact that you're seeing a past life at the same time you're living this life, which you got two different realities going on all at once.
Well, that's interesting.
As far as having drug abuse or anything, that definitely can be a lesson because you've struggled with it in a past life. Cindy's often talked about how she was a doormat in most of her past lives, and that she's finally shed that feeling of being a doormat and no longer lives in that reality.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Sometimes I go the other way.
We got right here. I was in an underground bunker. Underground air pressure was so bad I was bleeding from ears and nose and mouth and the corners of my eyes.
When was that?
Goodness. Well, I'm wondering if it's part of this comment. I survived an F5 tornado in 2010.
That could be.
Genevieve, can I ask you a question real quick? I know this is your show, and I know that you got about 30 minutes. You have a creepy parlor here, right? Does everyone know, including the new viewers, why there's a creepy parlor and why there's a haunted happy hour?
We'll talk about that later. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, all right. Cool. You got 30 minutes.
We only got 30 minutes. So anyone else have any I have no insight into any past lives or anything like that, except for one or two little bits and pieces I've gotten from psychics or mediums that I've been to. And one of them told me that my sister and I have been through multiple lives together and that we keep coming back together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
same soul family.
Yeah. So you guys that know my sister and I, it explains a lot.
Soul sister, hey sister.
Yep.
Do you always come back as sisters, or sometimes as mother, daughter, father, son, or whatever?
She told me it was sisters the whole time. And right before I started telling that, she said, tell the psychic story, because we really do share a brain. Here's Natalie too. Great view on that, Rick.
What is the psychic story? Tell us the psychic story.
That was when the psychic told me that my sister and I have been together multiple lives.
Cool.
Well, we told you we were writing a book. The character in our book, he's black, he's gay, he's a woman. He's
an Indian.
He's a bad person. He's a good, very loving person, because that's what reincarnation is truly all about. When you fully understand that you've been black, or you've been gay, or you've been a woman, you don't have issues with any different thing.
Right.
It's true.
You understand love.
You've been all of those things, and you have empathy, and you have understanding.
See, that's one thing you brought up, being, gay and black and whatnot in my past lives. I asked Chrissy this a few weeks ago from Where's My Sage. There's would being gay be something like, say I was gay before and I still like boys, so I'm going to be gay this time. Is that something that could do? Could I figure out in past life progressions what my sexuality was in the past lives?
You might, yeah.
You might, but you might choose to be gay in all of you. It's always a learning experience. So, and it's all about learning to deal with the emotions in your body, because we're souls. I mean, our ultimate being is a soul. We are eternal. We go on forever as a soul. So the job for us to do is to learn to be able to have the experience of everything we possibly can while we're in this body.
Or other bodies.
Or in bodies, so to speak.
I think that was one of the best analogies I ever heard about it was it is like graduating. You go through this life, you graduate, you have your summer off, and then you go back to school in a new body.
That is the way a lot of people is at school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me get
Yeah, I believe that like birthdays, I am reborn every day. So every birthday, I pick some things that I think that I should work on or fix myself. And so whenever I go to bed on my birthday, I wake up a different person. I feel,
Wow.
and
Aw.
also have like I don't know if anybody else knows this, but I told you I am an empath and I am psychic. And I have seen past lives and I've seen future lives. And I also have had outer body experiences where at that moment in time, I literally go into another body, and that other body is like a queen, some sort of ruler in the world, and she is totally positive and positive changes within not only her town, village, but just all over the place.
So then do you bring that energy back to you, to yourself? To this
I think
incarnation?
so. I think so.
So
Well, you're saying you
I
travel now to the other. So do you think you're traveling to another reality, another dimension? I mean, it sounds like you're living.
I think it is another dimension because I also see sand and trees like the desert. Small trees,
Like an oasis.
palm trees, kind of like an oasis. And I literally see myself sitting in the throne, and I feel myself talking to people, telling them certain things that should be changed within not only them but in the world of people, to where they're like one. They're accepted as whoever they are. They're not looked at in any way whatsoever except the person that they are, and they don't judge anybody. They don't like put any negativity out. And I feel like I at that moment in time put that within them, like a power of some sort, to I just bestow upon them that gift of myself and how I feel.
Does that happen very often?
It does. It happens about twice a year, 3 times a year.
Wow.
I was
It was
wondering,
during like astral.
possibly it was your subconscious trying to tell you you're supposed to be a teacher.
Right. And I do like that. That's what my show is about. That's what I want my show to be about. Is me showing people, teaching people that not all people are haters per se. Teaching them enlightenment, teaching them peace, and not only exes but just anybody. Accept everybody, because everybody is here with us. So why not accept the differences within another person and not be the person that they are if they're like negative or just for me. Like I feel that some people need to be told certain things before they realize that they're that way.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And so I want to change that.
Everybody needs that eureka moment, where they can see that. They need to see what they're like, because the truth is everybody needs to love everybody, accept everybody, because you don't have to agree with them or walk the walk that they walk. Just agree with their walk.
Yeah.
Do it together, right?
Yeah.
Arm in arm. Like, I don't believe in reincarnation. I believe in the possibility of everything. Anybody that knows me knows that. I think, anything's possible. But I respect that. And, I expect people to respect what I believe and how I'm walking, and that's just love each other, right?
Exactly.
On that note, we're going to take
reincarnation.
Go ahead.
Oh, in reincarnation, I did have a friend that passed away at 18 from a car accident. And their best friend, before he passed away, he told us, if I ever die, I'm going to come back as a insect just so I can be a pain in your ass. And you know that I'm still there.
Well, that leads
me
us
and a friend of
to
mine
this
went.
Yeah,
whenever he did pass away,
Love
we
you,
went to
Tom.
the road. We the road that he passed away on, and we were in an S10 pickup, and we drove back and forth because we were tight. We were like brothers. We were his best friends. We were around each other all day, every day. We were all three different, and so we cruised back and forth. The whole time that we were there, there was a grasshopper on the windshield, and we were there over 3-4 hours, and that damn thing stayed there the whole freaking time that we were cruising back and forth. And so it made us kind of look at it as, yeah, you can be reincarnated if you really truly believe in reincarnation, to where you put that energy in there and you have that energy there to bring you back.
Well, I think also too, what matters is whether or not that was a reincarnated version of your friend, it made you think of that person. And that's the important part. Yes. I think that's what, when symbols come in.
It was a message.
Yes.
Yep. We're going to take a really quick break because we only have like 20 minutes left. But we're going to take a really quick break, and then we'll come back and finish up our chat, okay?
Time's going by fast.
Time goes by really fast.
Too fast. Let's do 3 hours.
WLFE-DB.com, where you can find vodcast shows, podcasts, and more, like Where's My Sage, Inside the Drag Closet, Across the Pond, Paratalk Radio, Just Cindy, and more. So go check out WLFE-DB.com, where talk radio is a whole lot better. Our shows are your shows, and that there makes for a great talk radio.
Hey guys and dolls, this is Casey DeVille, the better half of DeVille Inc., Baltimore, Maryland. If you're ever in Baltimore, stop in and see me and Tony. Invisible Bree, 5920 Eastern Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. Give us a call if you're in the area at 410-400-9641, or look us up on the web at DeVilleInc.com. DeVille Inc., where we specialize in you.
Ted Van Son Jr. is a seasoned investigator and well-versed in the ways of paranormal investigation. He is now ready to share his ideas and unique approach with all of you. Flashlight, recorder, and comfortable shoes. Hit the ground running as you follow this easy step-by-step guide to a fun and thorough paranormal investigation, perfect for first-time and lightly seasoned investigators. Think outside the paranormal box. Learn all about the technology and techniques used back in the early days of paranormal investigation. You can find these valuable resources online at Goodreads, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, and Amazon. Get yours today.
Hi, I'm Jenna Grover. In the world of fashion, we get lost in the cost. Everyone wants that special piece of quality jewelry, but they can't afford it. Not on my watch. I sell handmade quality jewelry for a fraction of the price, and that includes jewelry made of sea glass, natural stone, crystal beads, glass beads, Bigfoot jewelry, and more. If you don't see what you want, email me, because I make custom jewelry too. Check out my website at gbythesea.com. Also, you can email me at jewelry@gbythesea.com.
You're listening to WLFE DB Radio. Now, back to our program.
And we're back.
Where's T-Roy?
I don't know where he went.
Well, it's T-Roy and Kevin.
I don't know if you guys, was their sound freezing a little bit for you guys?
Yeah.
And kind of delayed a little bit.
In their video.
Not
Maybe-
on my end.
Maybe they went off to the sea with G by the Sea. During the
I gotta be honest, Rick and Cindy, you guys look really familiar.
They were on our first show.
Maybe we're in the same soul family.
Who said that? Dom?
Dom did.
Dominic. They were on our first show, Dom.
Where are you from, Dom?
I'm from Florida. I'm actually from Jersey. But
we live in Vero Beach.
Okay, yeah, you guys look very familiar. I know you've been on the show and stuff before, but yeah. What do you do for a living? You're authors?
Well,
They are.
Cool.
You may have seen us on Carter's website.
It's
Yeah,
more
they
than
are.
likely.
Do you guys see that comment below? That's my friend Bill, who said that he knows the destroyer that he was killed on.
Oh wow.
Oh, cool.
And he says he's one of the. Yeah. It's
All right.
interesting, isn't it?
Isn't Bill a shaman?
I wanted to come on.
Yes. Yes, he is.
I'm gonna I have to step out for a moment. I'll be right back on. I gotta check on a friend. I'll be right there. Okay?
All right.
Alrighty.
All right.
I don't.
I'll be back. Remove me, Jen, and I'll be back in.
There you go. He's such a diva. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back.
Thank you. We
Thank
had to
you.
leave and come back. It started messing up and everything again. So
Yeah, we're having some issues with StreamYard tonight. But anyway, maybe it's all the paranormal energy around us.
yeah, there you go. That could be.
There was an issue last night too. The guests kept popping in and out. It happens from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting everything is syncing now. So good, excellent. Of course, now after we've only got like 10 minutes left.
Let me ask a question. I've had a lot over time. I've had a lot of deja vu moments, shall we say?
Yes.
What does everybody think about those? That that feeling that you've been there before, you've done that before. I know there's a lot of different.
Actually.
Do you think they're related to past lives? Do you think they're related to premonition? Do you think that they're just glitches in your brain?
I think for me, okay, my take on it, Cindy was going to hit me over the head when I say it.
All right, I'm ready.
I believe that everything is real and nothing is real. Meaning that whenever we start any timeline, we've started a reality. So the minute we move on to the next timeline, we're in a new reality. But both of those realities are possibly simultaneous at the same time. So you have actually saw that reality because you were just in it.
That's some like time traveler brain warp stuff.
But it really isn't. It really is. You stop and think. There's 7 of us here right now.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of us is in a totally different reality.
Absolutely.
Every one of us is perceiving the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
There's 6 of you perceiving me talking. You all have a different perspective. I use perspective rather than reality of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Every one of your minds is going through, okay, what are you saying? You're all doing it differently at the same time. So therefore, we have 7 different realities going on.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do believe, Rob,
Yeah.
sort of a premonition. It is part of your subconscious trying to warn you or help you with something coming up.
Well, I don't pay much attention, I guess, because I don't get it.
You want me to tell you about one time I ignored a little pimple on my head.
I remember.
You remember this? I ignored 4 different premonition, intuition type things, and I ended up with a serious, severe case of shingles on my face.
Oh.
Even though your spirit guides were telling you what to do.
They were, and I did not listen.
Yes. I totally believe that it is a sign that you're on the right path if it's something that happens after or during. And that, that makes me feel like that's what it's all about, is I'm on the right path. And also, I don't know if this fits into anything, but I have mentioned many times that I am a story, that I'm like somebody is reading my story and turning page by page, which is day by day.
Yeah, that's an interesting perspective too. I'm gonna use that, Rick, perspective. I use that a lot anyway, but I'm gonna really start using that a little bit more because I think that's really accurate.
Well, are you ever sit with anybody and talking to the person, and then 5 minutes later, you get into a discussion because you heard that person say something that they didn't.
Yeah.
You know what? That's just another reality with you.
Yeah.
Shifting back and forth.
Yeah.
Yep. Welcome back, Dom.
What's happening, my friends?
Hello, my brother.
What's going on?
So we only have a few minutes left, and I want everybody to be able to talk a little bit about what their shows are, what their books are, and all that stuff. Give yourself a little chance to self-promote. So if you guys wouldn't mind, I know you mentioned it a little bit in your intro, but I think it would be really cool to end it that way too. So Rob and Joan, you want to tell everybody where they can find you and stuff?
Sure. You can go to carternovels.com. We have 3 books: Bioprints, Flash Zombies, and Clone Drones. They're all really, really good books.
They are.
Cindy's read them, actually.
He paid me to say that.
We did. And but anyway, besides that, we have a show, Meet the Authors podcast on this radio network, WLFE-DB radio. And we have a show tomorrow night, actually. We have 2 mystery writers coming on. It's a double feature. One is Gerald Darnell and the other is Michael Daigle. And they both write mystery series, and they're really good series. It's going to be a good show. They're really interesting people. We already met with them. Excellent. And then at the end of April, we're going to have a UK authors night. So we're going to have 2 authors live from the UK. That's going to be great too. So got a lot we're looking forward to.
We also publicize about 100 other authors on indiebooksource.com. Rick and Cindy are on there. Dom is on there. Ted Van Son is on there. We have a lot of really awesome authors that we publicize.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Rick and Cindy, where can we find you?
If anybody, well, I'm at CindyDavisAuthor.com, and if anybody's interested in, learning about spirituality and how it grows and develops, we've got a 3-book series, the first of which is Zippochner's Legacy, and you can find that on the website. And yeah, you were going to say something.
Search for Power is the second book in that series. That's on the web, and I think you guys have it too, don't you, Rob?
Yes. Yeah, it's on Indie Booksource
Indie
as
Books.
well.
Yeah, you can find all of their books, their spiritual books, and their other books. They've written a lot of books, are on our website, indiebooksource.com.
Great.
Excellent.
And
I have your
also an editor.
Yep, I have Cindy's information down at the bottom right now. Guys, please go check her out.
Yeah.
T-Roy and Kevin, where can we find you guys?
You can find us on Everything Yet Nothing, WLFE-DB-DB radio. And you can also look on Facebook, Everything Nothing, without the yet.
Everything Nothing. There we got it, streaming right there. And my friend Dom, where can we find you?
Dominique!
Dash TV, Stream TV. Go find me and you'll notice all the shows. That's all it is.
Oh, we have somebody else popping on too.
Who do we have coming on? Surprise guest?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, if you don't know, we don't.
And it's also Thursday at 9 or 10 o'clock. I forgot to say that.
10 p.m. Eastern time.
10 p.m.
Yeah.
Eastern time.
10 p.m. Eastern. Perfect. Excellent. And I am Genevieve, Creepy Parlor. I'm here every Tuesday at 7. Next week, we're going to be talking about widow's weeds, memento mori, and memento mori and morning jewelry and all sorts of things creepy Victorian. So very excited. Mother Delamorte will be joining me and we'll have a really fun conversation. A lot of really cool stuff coming up. We have Haunted Ireland coming up on March 16th in celebration for St. Patrick's Day. So
Nice.
a lot of really cool creepy stuff coming up on the Creepy Parlor. So we only have a few minutes left. Any last thoughts? Past lives?
I actually think you should just tell how everyone got the haunted happy. I mean, you need some credit, my friend, my family
I'm
now.
taking credit. It's good.
Explain how the haunted happy hour happened, because
People are going to be able to tell the story themselves. They don't need to hear it.
It's called Legends.
It's Legends. So yeah, it is Legends. It actually really started because I was looking for something fun to do to keep my ghost tour business alive. We couldn't really do ghost tours during COVID, so I started doing virtual ghost tours. And one night, Dominic joined us. His aunt, who had previously been on one of my tours, sent him a message and said to sign in for the tour. So afterwards, we sort of hung out for a while. Everybody hung out on Zoom, and we decided we were going to start doing that every other week. So if you need something fun to do, join us on Facebook, Haunted Happy Hour. We run that every other week. My sister Jillian comes up with really cool topics for us to talk about.
Yep.
And things get wild.
Yes, they do. And Mary,
Best nights of my life. Best nights of my life. I'm telling you, the world here. Like, listen, come to the Haunted Happy Hour. These are the best times I've had in all the times I've had. Trust me.
In all the times you've had, that's huge.
That's a lot.
I'm telling you, I've had some crazy times. I've had some crazy times. Not me, but yeah, I really enjoy hanging with you guys.
And I think one of the really fun things about the Haunted Happy Hour too is that it started off with just being something to occupy our time through the pandemic and get some social contact, and now we've just become really good friends. People, we call each other for pop-up chats randomly and have all sorts of fun together, and everyone's invested in each other's lives, and it's been a really great thing. So,
awesome.
Yep. So check us out. Join us. We've got some cool conversations happening on the Facebook page. It's a lot of fun.
Love it.
Absolutely love it. Any last words, anybody? Because we are.
I am thinking about dedicating a Thursday every month for family shows, WLFE-DD family. And so I would love for my first show to have everybody that's on here to come on and be part of that chain of my show.
That would be wonderful. Yeah, we were on your show a couple weeks ago, and it was so much fun.
Thank you.
I'm down whenever. You guys are awesome to me. You know me. And I won't even curse this time because we're in the hours that where it's like it's family time.
Yeah, and I really like this. I like what we've talked about tonight, and so I would love to just do this show on my show if that's okay.
Yeah, we can continue.
Show.
No, we can continue the conversation.
And really get deeper into life because I love to go deep within people and figure out who people are before they became who they are now on here. I really love that, and I'd love to hear. I know, right? I love that. Yins are all awesome. I love yins all. You're awesome.
Thank
Well,
you
that's
guys.
not going to work for me too, Roy, because I can't talk about things. I'm just kidding.
We'll get it out of you.
Yep.
Genevieve, I appreciate you more than anything. You know that.
I know that. I appreciate you too. That's just about all the time we have tonight, guys. Please check out the Haunted Happy Hour. Please check us out, the Creepy Parlor. Like, follow, share. Check out WLFE-DB.com. You can catch up on all of our previous shows there. I think it's Stream TV that we can watch on WLFE now. Check out Real Talk with Dom. Check out the Carters with their awesome podcast, and T-Roy and Kevin. All that information is on WLFE-DB.com or on Facebook, WLFE-DB. Like, follow, share. We really appreciate it.
There you go.
You must.
Well, creepy darlings, that's all we have for this evening.
Thank you, Genevieve.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
Namaste.
Oh, would you?
Thank you for joining us on the Creepy Parlor. Join us next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern for another fantastic show.